Hello my beautiful light brights. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Neon Noire. I'm a half Italian, half Canadian drag queen living in Belgium. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm taking a little pause from my Fab or Drab series, which you can watch right away here. We're going to be breaking down the rumored cast for the upcoming season of UK versus the World. That is right, UK versus the World 2 is set to be coming out in 2024. In fact, they already filmed the season. They filmed the season back in February, before a lot of these new seasons even aired. So let's look on Reddit, see who the cast is, and break down my thoughts on this potential rumored cast of who is gonna be in. But don't worry, we will not be revealing any spoilers. I'm not looking at placements. I am not looking at positions. I'm just breaking down the cast and my thoughts on them. Girl, I want the show to be interesting for me to watch too. I don't want to know who wins. So without further ado, let's get into it. So those of you who do not know, UK versus the World is basically like UK All-Stars, where they have a bunch of UK queens and a bunch of international queens competing against each other to become queen of the mother-tucking world. And I did say mother-tucking. Apparently for season 2, they are giving us more queens and more episodes with 11 queens. And I am so excited. So let's break them down one at a time. Since this is UK versus the World, we are first gonna look at the UK queens, and then we're gonna look at the international contestants. The show is a little bit heavily skewed on the UK side. I mean, it is their show and it is their hometown, but they are bringing us queens from every different season. We are gonna start off with Gothy Kendall from UK season 1. The official pork chop of UK. That is right, she is the first queen that was first out on the first episode. I'm glad she is back because I feel like she needs a second chance. To be on one episode is like, must be heartbreaking. On top of it, you've seen her sister Sminty Drop do really well in the competition, and you've seen Gothy's looks and personality have really come out since the show. If you recall, in her original season, she didn't have that much actual experience. She was more of a social media queen, and it's been several years since season 1 of UK, so I'm sure her drag has gotten so much better and she's got a lot to prove. Next we have Tia Coffee, and Tia Coffee is from Drag Race UK. Tia also came in 7th place, but she had 1 win and 3 bottom placements. The one thing about Tia Coffee is that Tia Coffee stole our hearts. She was definitely funny. She was the confessional queen of her season. RuPaul even said with time, she can look like the next RuPaul. And if you've been following her on social media, you will definitely see that she has had a huge glow up. So you know she's gonna come back and be feisty. She's definitely got that perfect all-stars arc and is perfect for casting, in my opinion. From UK season 3, we have Theresa May, and Theresa May was definitely a fan favorite. She was a little bit campy with that Spanish flair on a UK edition, definitely added that little bit of breadth, and people say that she got robbed when she got home. If you remember, she got eliminated in a double elimination with her bestie, River Medway. I mean, I will say that season 3 of UK was a little bit of a mess, and this was one of the reasons. But looking at her statistics, Theresa May came in 6th/7th place and had 1 win when she left the show. Since the show, she's released a bunch of music, definitely touring quite a lot. She was even a guest judge on Drag Race España. So you know this queen is making her rounds, and she definitely has something to prove. I think Theresa is a great casting choice, and I'm really, really excited to see her on the season. From Drag Race UK, season 4, we have Jombers Blonde. Now, Jombers Blonde was one of the top 4 queens. She had no wins and 2 bottom placements. Honestly, on her season, some people loved her, some people wondered why she was there. I'm in the latter. I just never got Jombers Blonde. I never got the hype for her. I really was missing that personality, and I felt like she really got lost in the mix. I'm hoping when she comes back on UK vs. the World, she's able to give us that personality and shine, but at the same time, there's a lot of really big personality queens. We'll have to see how that goes. The one thing though is that Ru loved Jombers. So even though it's a surprise to me, it wouldn't be my fantasy casting, I understand why she was chosen. From Australia, we have Hannah Conda. Hannah Conda participated in Drag Race Down Under season 2 and was a runner-up. When she got kicked out, she had 3 wins, and some arguably would say that she got an unfair edit. She was a very, very strong drag queen. They really weren't giving her that winner's edit or that story or the storyline she really deserved. I am also glad to see some more Australian representation. On Canada vs. the World, we had the first contestant from Down Under, which was Anita Wiglet, who didn't particularly do well. So I'm glad that Hannah Conda will come in to give that franchise a little bit of a boost. It's always a little bit of a strange one, Down Under, but the one thing I will say is that it's a lot more camp and a lot more funny, and it does add some diversity to the roster. Next, we have Arantxa Castilla-La Mancha, all the way from Drag Race Spain Season 1. This is such a wild card pick. First up, Drag Race Spain has never been featured on any of the Versus the World or All-Stars editions, so I'm loving that they're bringing in international flavor. But this choice was a little bit of a curveball for me. Arantxa came in 7th place. She wasn't necessarily the most memorable. In fact, I actually remember a lot of her drag being very juvenile. She always said that her drag was inspired by Hannah Montana and other sort of like Disney-esque personalities. I'm so glad that Spain is getting represented. I'm just shocked that she is the one representing them. We have seen some iconic queens on Spain. She has a lot of big shoes to fill. The one thing that I will say, the reason why I'm excited to see her back is that I'm sure she's grown a lot since the show, and she probably has a lot to show, and she's probably gonna come back with a vengeance. From Drag Race France Season 1, we have La Grande Dame. Now, La Grande Dame was a runner-up, so she made it very, very far into the competition. She was never in the bottom, and I believe she had 1 win. The thing about La Grande Dame is she was definitely an aesthetics queen, a looks queen, and she also had like quite a big following, so I'm not surprised to see her on this cast. I wonder how she's gonna do now that the show's in English instead of French, so there will be that extra additional barrier for her. As well, this show filmed in February, so that was only about 6 months after her original season aired. So I don't know how much like real life experience she had between filming. Now, normally I would say that that's a hindrance, but we definitely saw Janie Jacquet do the same thing on UK vs. World 1 and made it really far. So I'm just happy for La Grande Dame to get more of an international audience and get her name out there because her drag was excellent. From Drag Race Holland Season 2, we have Keita Minaj. Keita Minaj was a front runner on her season. She won 3 maxi challenges and never placed in the bottom. And the first time she placed in the bottom was at the top 4 where she got eliminated. Some people might even say that this is what canceled the franchise because everybody was rooting for her. Everybody thought she was gonna win. So she is definitely gonna be a strong contender. Now, I used to live in Amsterdam, so I actually know Keita personally. She follows me on social media, and I will say that she is that bitch. If you thought Janie Jacquet was great on Season 1, wait till you see Keita Minaj. She's definitely giving you that extra oomph, that extra something that we love in a drag queen. From Drag Race Philippines, we have Marina Summers, and Marina Summers was a runner-up on her season with 2 wins. Marina is definitely the wild card in my book because she's actually the only queen on this cast who I don't know. I did not watch Drag Race Philippines. Since I didn't watch the season, I don't really have a personal opinion. A lot of my friends have told me that she is the shit. She is amazing. They're excited to see her, so I'm excited to see her. Scrolling through her Instagram, she looks stunning, so I'm really curious as what she has to offer. From the US, we have Mayhem Miller. Mayhem competed on Season 10 of the US edition as well as All Stars 5. It's been a few years since we've seen Mayhem, but Mayhem was always one of those queens that was a little bit underrated. She was an excellent queen, but she wasn't in it for the drama, and therefore I feel like she got lost in the mix, even though she's competed twice. On season 10, she placed 10th, and on All Stars 5, she placed 7th. So she doesn't have the best track record. I will say that Mayhem Miller is a staple in the US drag scene, and especially in West Hollywood, I believe. So she's definitely a seasoned queen who knows what she's doing. I'm glad to see her back after all these seasons, but I do feel like she's got almost a little bit of an unfair advantage. First of all, she's working in the US, which is like the drag mecca of the world. On top of it, she's already done Drag Race not once, but twice. So she got a leg up and she's got the budget. If Mayhem doesn't place far, I'd be quite surprised, to be honest. But then again, we have a lot of really good queens, so it can go any way and we will not have a single clue. From the US, we have Scarlet Envy. Now, Scarlet Envy competed twice. She competed on season 11, where she came in 10th place, and then she went back for All-Star 6, where she came 9th. When she was on season 11, people loved her, but since there was an uproar in the fandom, they brought her back for All-Star 6. I personally think for All-Star 6, she definitely did a lot better, and that's when I really feel she got robbed, because she got out early yet again. Since then, she's gone on to do some shows, and fun fact, I was actually an opening act at Witch Perfect, which was a show that Scarlet Envy did with Alexis Michelle and Tina Burner. So now I am personally invested in UK vs. the World because, you know, we kiki backstage and she is honestly one of the loveliest people I've ever met. Some drag queens can be very standoffish or think they're better than them, and Scarlet Envy is not that big. She is definitely super kind-hearted and very fun. I'm really rooting for her on this season. So what do you think of the cast? My personal thought is I am so happy that they are bringing different franchises and different queens from different parts of the world and giving them an opportunity to shine. I think the biggest gag of the season for me is that there are no Canadian queens. On UK vs. the World 1, we had Jimbo and Lemon, two icons, and then on Canada vs. the World, we had a whole slew of them. So I was shocked not to see any of them on UK vs. the World. Maybe they're saving them for Canada vs. the World too, but I would like to see some of that representation. But maybe, you know what? A season off wouldn't hurt anybody. I think it's also a little bit of a shame that Italy yet again got a snub. We haven't seen any queens from Italy compete on any of the franchises. And if you're asking about Belgium, Germany, Sweden, or anything like that, well, all of those shows filmed and aired after this, so I think it's a little too soon to see them on anyway. So who am I rooting for? Well, I am definitely rooting for Kate Minaj and Scarlet Envy, just because I know them both and I've worked with them both. So I have a little bit of bias there. So let's see how the season unfolds. Let's see the promo looks. If you want to see me rate that season and give you my thoughts, leave a comment down below. And if I get enough likes and comments, I might do a Fab and Drab review on the season. On that note, you guys, this has been a new concept. Do you like this little format? Do you want to see me do more of these? If so, let me know in the comments. And while you're there, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Once again, my name is Neon Noire, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.